He's playing safety. His hips turn toward the sideline. Like, why are you turning toward the sideline and ain't nobody even near you yet? The wide receiver, they were running trips. Okay, that man is way down there. I mean, why are you turning your hips? You should have just been backpedaling slowly and then waited to see what was going to happen. When he turned those hips to the sideline, now the middle linebacker, you didn't do your job because you stepped up. You saw the quarterback step back. Why are you stepping up? So you should have been back. I don't care about that man that went up under, because if that man that went up under, if he does catch the ball, we still going to stop him. I cannot leave the middle of this field behind me wide open. So he steps up, and then when he steps up, the safety, Mr. Smith here, he turns his to the hips, to the sideline, and when he turns, that man comes across there with that slant.
He don't moving.
That man, like I say, that boy got to be running 4.2. He got to be running 10.3 and 100 or something like that, because that's just ridiculous. Because he was in fourth gear when he caught it. And then he downshifted one more time and hit that thing in that fifth gear. I said, Lord have mercy, that boy know he running. I said, that looked like Randy Moss going down the sideline. I said, it wasn't no catching it, because when he made that mistake and he turned those hips and went the wrong way, instead of backpedaling, just slowly doing his pedal, and he could have did that T-step and dug and then went right at that guy, he would have pushed him out of bounds before he got to the end zone. Not saying he would have caught him, or he wouldn't have got a good, great gain on the catch and everything, but it wouldn't have been a touchdown. It's mistakes like that, blown coverages. How can we have blown coverages in a game that big? You can't do that. You cannot have blown coverages. I mean, the last touchdown that, one of the touchdowns they caught there, Williams, he burnt them again. Number 5. Let me find number 5. Let's see what 5 is. Where you at 5? Where you at 5? 5. Mr. Kelly Ringo. You were fast in high school. You was a sprinter. You got here in some kind of way. You have lost a step or two. Now, this is a study that I've done on college ball players. They said the average player, when he reaches college, if he's running a 4.5, if he's not careful, by the time he leaves college, he's running a 4.7.
Wow.
They do not practice turnover. They're not doing track like they used to do when they were in high school.
That's right.
A lot of those guys are doing track and football in high school. But when they get to college, they're not practicing those same techniques. They put on more weight, they put on more size, but they don't go out and work on the turnover. You got to keep working that speed. If you notice those wide receivers from Alabama, excuse me, I don't know what I'm thinking about right there, but from Bama, all of them shaped alike. That William looked like my boy that won the Heisman just last year. That's who they're shaped like that. All of them have that same turnover and speed and everything. They're not looking for wide receivers that are weighing, 200 pounds or whatever such. No, that man probably weighing 175, 180 pounds, but he's flying and he like lightning. And this is what's hurting us with Georgia every year. If we go back to when we lost those games, it was a secondary. If we go back to those other SEC championships and we go back and look at the years and everything, when Tua was there, we lost it because of the secondary. This is why Georgia right now is recruiting very heavily on their cornerbacks and their safeties. They are trying to get the best safeties and the corners in the nation.
Let me ask you a question. Is that recruiting or is that some coaching? Because you talking about 3 years in a row now, Doc.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you got to be in better position.
It's some of that's coaching, and then some of that's just decision making. They got to be able to read that. That coach can put you in the right spot. That safety was in the right spot.
He was.
But why are you turning toward the sideline and nobody's near you? You should have been just backpedaling. Just, you could have just went back 5 yards and then seen where the ball was going to be, where it was going to be thrown at, and then made your move. Because he had 3 receivers over there. He's trying to see what's going on. But you've already made a decision before the ball is even thrown. I didn't get that. I didn't understand that part of that. So,
that's one of the reasons why. Now I'm gonna switch over to offense for a second.
Okay.
And I'm to UF. One of the reasons I admire Steve Spurrier, Canes, forgive me for saying this, but one of the reasons I admire him is when guys wasn't getting it done, he was pulling them and putting somebody in there who could.
Now you saying what I'm saying.
He's gonna keep doing it until they got it right.
Yeah.
You gotta have that type of mindset as a coach, that trickles down to your players to know if I'm not doing my job, I'm gonna be out of here. Reggie Wayne said one game, I forget what game he was playing. He said I was hurt, and he said I pretty much rolled my ankle and couldn't run. But I didn't come out the game. You know why? Because Andre Johnson was behind me, and I knew I wasn't gonna get back in. I have that mindset. In addition, that's why I say it starts with coaching. For me, it starts up top, and it trickles down. You know.
Yeah, because I mean, I know some of the guys that's on the sideline that are sitting there waiting to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we go to let's go over here to number 47. My man here, we're gonna pull him out. We're gonna call him out too, Mr. Payne Walker. Mr. Dan Jackson. Mr. Dan Jackson. Let me get him confused with the other 47. Mr. Dan Jackson. Mr. Dan Jackson. Why is he on the field? I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, I'll answer this. He's a walk-on, first of all.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, he's a walk-on.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the plays. The problem is nobody has tested us deep yet because our front seven kept pressure.
Exactly.
The ball off. This is the first time he's really been tested deep. But I mentioned this to my father. I was like, Dan, the weakest link out there. He doesn't have the lateral quickness or the deep quickness. Now, he can come up and make tackle. Well, that's easy if a man is running toward the end zone behind you. You can come up and make the tackle. But Mr. Dan Jackson was getting torched. They were behind him like every play until they pulled him out in the middle of the second quarter. Said, And I was looking at a replay, and I'm like, James, I was at the game, sitting up in the stands. You see on the field from a game in the stands, you see the whole field. You don't see what the camera angle shows you. You could see Dan getting torched, stumbling, trying to keep up,
stumbling.
So that, but he got in because he knew the plays. He worked hard on special team, and he earned some PT. But when it came time for skill, or not skill, athleticism, he just didn't have it. Them boys was hitting afterburners. No, Alabama does not recruit receivers that run 4.5s.
No.
I have never seen an Alabama receiver run a 4.5 in the past 15, 20 years. I cannot remember. They are 4.3s. If they're 4.4, he a big old 4.4. He's a monster. And then the last one that was that big was Julio, and he was 4.3.
Yeah.
So that's why Dan Jackson was on the field, because he blocked the punt for a touchdown. He did other great plays. He came up, made some great little stops here and there. He practiced hard. He knew his assignment. But after a while, you can't coach speed. Neither can you teach it. You either got it or you don't got it. Listen, I can read defense, but if I get out there at corner safety, they're going to say, hike, I'm going to pull every hamstring I got. Trying to back 5 yards. So,
but man, I mean, nothing against him, but I watched him on that one play when he's backpedaling, and my man number 8 puts the move on him from Bama. He lost it. He didn't know where that man was at.
Nope.
When he was supposed to do that T-step and dig and turn, he was almost in a circle. He was stumbling. He was falling. I was like, what is going on?
All over the place.
But the thing is, though, what I'm saying is, I don't get that when the DB coaches, when you look at that man's feet, when you see that footwork, if he got that quickness or not, and be able to deal with these different situations. You already know this.
Yep. So
why are you even why would we put ourselves in that situation? Like I said, I saw this before we even got to this game. I saw that because we were sitting in the stadium, and my sons and I were sitting there, and I'm like, why is that guy in the game? What is he? I know y'all got better players on the bench over there, but they freshmen, and they won't put them on the field. And that's the difference. If you watch that game when Alabama had players, freshmen all over the field.
Yep.
That meant the best man. Hey,
he's gonna play football, Doc.
And I didn't get that part there. I didn't understand that. I just, I want you want to see the best players get out there and do what they can do. And in a situation like that, man, this is SEC championship. It don't get any bigger than that. And I know they're planning for that. I know they got to be planning for it and everything. And they want to win just like anybody else want to win. But still, man, we got to do what we have to do. We made adjustments. I'll give you this. In the game, we made adjustments on defense in the second half. We did good, but we didn't make the adjustments on offense, though. We didn't make the adjustments on offense. I'm still looking for JT. I'm sorry. I'm still looking for JT.
All right, so that pushes us to the next question.
Okay.
And the next question, James and Kevin, is this. Was Stetson Bennett asked to do too much?
I can answer that one first. Let me start on that one.
Go ahead.
No, he wasn't asked to do too much. You already knew who he was before you went in there. They are who we thought they were. So the thing is, you knew who this man was before he even got to this situation. You knew what you was facing. You've been watching film. You've been studying Alabama. You know exactly what they're going to do. You know how they're going to come at you. You know what they got on the linebackers. You know what their defensive line looks like, those ends. You know what kind of pressure coming to you. So you already know who Bennett is. You know what the player and his capabilities are. You already know that. So I don't think he was asked to do too much. If you make the decision to put him in there, then evidently you're thinking that he can do it. He only did what he does. Bennett was standing there. I mean, I would say that first interception, that wasn't his fault. That's on the tight end. If your quarterback is rolling out, you're supposed to continue to roll with him to the sideline. He stopped, interception. Okay, that's not your fault. But on the other end,
you missed one. In the first quarter, he almost had another pick six. That boy dropped it, that linebacker.
Yeah.
Easier pick six than the one that was a pick six.
I'm getting there. Because the thing is, all right, that first one, all right, I like I said, that wasn't him. But the problem is he eyes down his receivers too much.
Yep.
They're reading him. It's like his peripheral is not working. You're looking at Bowers run. You're looking at Bowers 19 there. You're looking at him. Pickett's running down the sideline with his hand up.
Yep.
I'm open. JT doesn't do that.
So
I watched JT at quarterback. You know, I've seen him, you know, up close with this. And JT, he'll see you. But at the same time, he see this man down there. And he going for that throw down the field. That's the difference in it. It's not that Bennett can't make the passes and he can't make the throws. He can make the throws, but he locks in too much on. Look at how, like my man Kevin made reference to earlier. 18 of those throws or so, whatever such went to the tight end. He was throwing the tight ends all night long. Where your wideouts at? You're not hitting these people. Somebody got to be open. It just ain't this tight end open all night long. Pickens is too big of a wide receiver not to be hitting with the ball. Even when he ain't open, he open.
And they threw to him 3 times.
Three times. Come on, man.
3 times.
Unbelievable.
Maybe 4. I remember one.
I can't accept that. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Because, see, I don't care. I've seen it. When you got a dominant wide receiver, you might be on him, but that man standing 6'2", 6'3", and can jump out the gym. If you put the ball up in the right spot, he's still going to catch it. You know, so you got to give him opportunities. They didn't do that. We kept throwing to one situation, and it turned out good here and there. But like I said, you don't need to beat Bama. You don't need a quarterback that can make good throws. You need a quarterback going to make great throws and great reads. You got to do that. That's just, you know, I don't think they asked him to do too much. He did what he does. And I ain't blaming my man Bennett. I'm praying for him because I know he probably getting killed on social media and dogged out and everything else. And, you know, everything is happening. He has just have to deal with it because that's part of what it is. But, you know, we send up the prayers for him because I know he needed, you know, because that pick six, if he doesn't throw that pick six and we go down the field, that's still a different game.
It is. Let me drop this video on you guys. It's not the best. I grabbed it when I could. I was trying to find the original, but I didn't. So I'm going to put this up. It's Booger McFarland responding, talking about the Bulldogs, talking about talking about Stetson, talking about what has transpired, and giving his take. Let's check out Booger McFarland.
Is that all season long, Kirby Smart and Georgia have been winning because they run the football with Zamir White and Cook, and that defense has been outstanding. Here's what Nick Saban said yesterday. Okay, we're going to take that away.
Yes.
And I'm going to make your quarterback beat me.
Yeah.
But for the first time all season, Stetson Bennett had to play football, big boy football. I have to make throws in the tight windows. I got to throw guys open. I have to anticipate and see coverage. I got to see 4 and 3 and go to the other side. He couldn't do it.
Right.
And so if you're Kirby Smart, and the goal is not just to beat Alabama. The goal is to win a national championship. You have to really go in the staff meeting today, and you and Todd Monken have to say, can we win a national championship against Michigan, Cincinnati, and Alabama with Stetson Bennett? And if the answer is no, then you have to come up with a different way to win. And I think, honestly, that's a question. I don't know if Stetson Bennett is the answer against Michigan, Cincinnati, or Alabama. 3 teams that have very good defense. You talk about the best corner combination with Cincinnati. He's not going to go against any slouch in any matchup. Can they get it done? I question that, and that's a question Kirby Smart has to answer.
They've got 3 weeks to figure it out.
Yeah.
And Kirby felt like, okay, we'll take this on. We'll take this on now. You
Motivation.
know, motivation. We'll see how.
Such a unique circumstance.
Looking at what Booger has stated, and whether or not Kirby will make the decision. Well, Kirby has already came out and said he rolling with Stetson again. He's already said that. All right. So that perplexed me within itself. He came out, I think, on SI.com. He said Stetson is God. Kirby believed that Stetson didn't do a whole lot to put the team in dire strait. Now, I'm gonna give y'all right now every emotion I had. First of all, I said it was Kirby, you stubborn. You stubborn and your pride is in the way. That's the first thing I'm thinking. Then I went through looking at the stats. Stetson did put up 340 yards. He did that, but 340 yards, you can get 340 yards between 20 and 20 and never get in the end zone if you throw it enough time. Then I went back and looked at the numbers. Stetson has almost identical numbers from last year's loss to this loss. I'm talking, they're almost identical. Picks was just off 1. He threw 3 last year compared to 2 this year. So I'm looking at this situation and I'm trying to figure out, and I'm saying to myself, why aren't you putting Stetson JT in the game? What is it? Do the fans need to know something so we can turn off this heat that we got going on and everybody is mad and flustered? You need to say something, but he isn't saying why he ain't playing him. And then I start hearing rumors that JT told him, this is rumor mill, that he wasn't playing the rest of the year. Then I started to hear rumors that JT was suffering from mental illness. Then I started to hear another cat who I know hate Georgia worse than Kevin on here, big time Florida Gator fan. He said my connection to Georgia told him the same thing, that JT wasn't going to play no more. And then I heard on the Dog Report analyst that was at the game on Saturday night, one of the guys was saying that it was some issues going on because they were saying that JT's camp was hearing that he was going to get more playing time starting in that Tennessee game, but he never got on the field. So there's something happening down there for this to take place. Because I honestly thought to myself, Kirby has graduated from all the brain farts, the mistakes, the handling of the quarterback bad. I've heard everybody's response saying that JT Stetson has earned it. He's better and blah, blah, blah. And I go to look at his numbers are higher. He has the 3rd highest to the 5th highest, he's top 3 to 5 in quarterback percentages and all that. Well, I'm thinking, if you play long enough with a good defense and you don't make as many mistakes as you haven't made, you'll get those numbers. That's like by default, because if you look at the rest of the quarterbacks by volume, they dwarf Stetson. I'm talking Stetson got 20 touchdowns. The rest of the other quarterbacks got 30 and 40 touchdowns, double the yards, almost at 4,000 yards each. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, well, something's not adding up. Something's not making sense. What's really going on down in Athens? I'm trying to get more information. I'm trying to find out. But if you look at the year that JT had after he took over from the loss from Alabama, JT averaged 400 yards, almost 400 yards a game. He blew the top off the team. I'm talking the offense took off after he hit the field. He hit the field this year running. Well, people say, well, he didn't do good in the Clemson game. Well, nobody did good in the Clemson game. It was a defensive matchup. It was a defense on top of defense, and Clemson has a good defense. They matched up well. It's the first game of the season. Everybody amped. You ain't had no preseason tune-up. You coming out, that's your first game. We didn't play a slouch. Most people play a directional school. We played Clemson. So we had a 10-3, I think it was a 10-3 game or a 14-3 game, whereas we came out and held them to 3 points, which is a good thing. The next game, JT had about 200. He was out the third game. The fourth game, he came in, I think he played the third game. He was out the fourth game. The fifth game, or it may have been the fourth game, excuse me. However, he had 300 plus yards in that game. So I'm looking at this trying to figure out, why ain't this man on the field? And this is just what I've come to the agreement of, that something's going on. But if it ain't nothing going on, we need JT Daniels, excuse me. Why? Because he can see the field. And as James stated, you had not just Pickens, Burton in the third quarter was running down the field, as I say, butt naked. No, he was uncovered, hand in the air, and he couldn't see him. And people say, well, why can't he see him? Well, Stetson ain't was 6 feet, barely 6 feet tall. Stetson throws through lanes. He's not a 6'4 receiver, a 6'3, 6'4 QB that can look over the defense and see, like you said, James, Pickens with his hands up, or like Randy Moss. When Randy Moss was playing with his quarterback, especially with Brady, Brady be scanning the field, but he would see Randy do like this. And when Randy's hand went up, he launched it because he knew Moss was going to get it. Pickens is better than Williams. Pickens might be coming back from injury, but if you go receiver for receiver, Pickens' catch radius is out of this world. His body control, I've only seen one other receiver in college football to have that body control. That's A.J. Green, to go up and get that ball, high point the ball, catch the ball from anywhere, dive, you name it. If that ball is in Pickens' area, he goes and gets it. So it's just the issue of, I do feel like we put Stetson in a situation that he couldn't produce. You knew what he is, but you stuck him in there anyway. Yeah. Saturday night's game was, Saban says, this is on your shoulders, Bryce. Go get it. Go beat them. Go do what you do best. We didn't have a counter. And I've been saying this for 2 years, 3 years, ever since we lost that national championship game in Alabama. You want to beat Saban? You got to have a coach and a quarterback. Them two pieces right there is what it's going to take to beat Saban. Because every year it's been coaching and a quarterback. It's only been one coach this year to really beat Saban. Jimbo is a champion already. Jimbo know what it is to go all the way. Jimbo done been up against top notch. He done faced Auburn when they was still in their heyday, coming out of Cam and took what's the cornerback that left Georgia and went out to Auburn and played quarterback. I can't think of the last quarterback they had, the real mobile one. He went to the national championship game. Jimbo has seen it. Jimbo knows what to do. He's that level of a coach. So let's go to Clemson's coach, Dabo. Dabo had Deshaun. Dabo had Lawrence. He's had 2 top stellar QBs with a team to beat Alabama. And the problem that we're dealing with is we've gotten out coached and we've gotten out quarterbacked.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've gotten out quarterback and out coached, and that's where we are. And that's why my biggest fear was, will Kirby do what it takes to win? But now that I've heard all this other stuff, I don't know if Kirby could have did what it takes. If JT refuses to play and he's trying to get another year, taking a red shirt, I don't know what the deal is. But however, it has the fan base in an uproar because it makes no sense when we know what JT can do. It ain't like we've never seen JT. This is what, to me, that puts Saban in another category. We saw Saban go halftime and come out with a true freshman, stick him in the game, and beat us. The next year in the SEC championship, we see him take the true freshman that won the championship, who was undefeated, take him out of the game, put the other one he replaced that last year back in the game and beat us. Coaching and quarterback is the key to beat Nick Saban. He is the GOAT. For all you all that are listening, he's the greatest of all time. He makes the decisions that other coaches won't make. There is no pride with Nick Saban. The only thing that Nick Saban hate more than not winning is losing. No, it's reverse. He hate not winning more than he do losing.
Yeah.
It's that psychological with him. And that's where I need for our coach to get to, that I'll do whatever it takes to maintain this winning status. I ain't got no loyalty because them kids could transfer. The transfer is like a turnstile now. These jokers is shoo, they in and out. If they can't get no PT and they a 5-star, you look up, them boys gone. How do you think Michigan got to where they were? Michigan State. Mel Tucker went in that transfer portal and clean house. Kentucky went in that transfer portal and instantly upgraded their team. There is no more wait. These boys are going where they can get on the field. And that's because of the situations and the complexity of college football. You got to outcoach Nick, and your quarterback got to ball out. That's just the bottom line. Yeah. Rice put that on his shoulder and said, y'all got to stop me. This man took the ball after the pressure finally got to him, ran upfield, sidestepped to the right when he was getting ready to get hit, he went Nebraska option ball on us, kicked it out to the right, and he ran for another 15 yards. At that point, I was like, my God, he on fire. So this is what we're dealing with, y'all. We gotta get this fixed. All right, kid, you want to get on it?
Go ahead. That was my out the gate, man. Coaching. Mac Jones said something last year. He said Nick Saban told him it's not a depth chart, it's a rep chart. Okay, which means even though we don't see this guy play the whole year, he's getting reps. He's getting prepared to play. I don't know what Kirby doing, Doc. We can talk about hips and the DBs, and he don't know where he at, and we can talk about not throwing it to the receiver and throwing it to the tight end. Doc, it goes back to coaching. And you got to have a coach that want to kick that guy's teeth in his mouth. I don't care nothing about this SEC. Oh, we're going to sit down before the game, and this is protocol. Hey, I look right in Saban eyeballs and tell him I'm going to beat your face in today. And you got to mean that so your players know that when the game is on the line, come hell or high water, whether the game plan is working or not, we still at go. We still are trying to win the ball game. Don't stick to that root of poop. If you was going to go with Stetson, that's his name, right? If you're going to go with Stetson throughout the game, right? Go to different formations. Make it easy for him. If he only got one read, move the receivers around. Motion. Do something that makes him comfortable, which allows you to make plays down the field. Or even just Tom Brady will nitpick you to death, man, and get in the end zone. He don't have nobody to go downfield. But I didn't see that. And when they ran the ball, they were effective, but they went away from that too. That's coaching.
Yeah, hey, but I just think that. Go ahead.
Just one thing, I'm gonna turn over to James. You said something about repetition, and Saban said this. I've heard Kirby say this about receivers. He was talking about when Pickett was coming back. He said we got to get him enough reps. We got to give him enough reps, and we don't know if he has to get enough reps in order to play. Well, my question is, why haven't you gotten these reps in? Why haven't you? Because first of all, they can go and practice if they want by themselves. Why haven't you dedicated, okay, this is my injury side. Let's run reps over here with my injury team or my guys coming back off of injury. Let's ramp up these guys' reps, or let's keep everybody in rep. Let's keep everybody in motion. Why aren't we? And I'm not saying they're doing that, but based on what you're saying and what I've heard Kirby say, he said some guys ain't getting enough reps. They haven't got enough reps in. Well, Kirby said, my guys that ain't even playing, they get enough reps. So that means we got to tweak something to make sure that when it's your turn to be called, you ready. Ain't no, I don't know the play. Or I ain't never did it before.
Right. None of that.
What we in practice, you should be going through reps like everybody. Make it count. Focus. Be on top of your stuff. Know your plays. First team, second team. Let's go. Repetition. Go ahead, James.
Yeah. I just think that he, like I said, with Bennett, I think he also just missed opportunities. If you look at, you're watching the game, I'm not saying even with the passing, he had opportunities in running lanes that were there, and he didn't take them.
Yes.
And that is some of the things I tell my son, and while he's playing quarterback, I said, take what they're giving you. It's the same thing when we play basketball. It doesn't make a difference. If you offer me, I'm going to shoot. If you own me, I'm going around you. So it's you take what the defense gives you. And he didn't take advantage of that enough when Young was doing it, though. When Young seen the opportunity to run the ball and it was there, he took it. He didn't force a pass. He took the run, got the yardage, slid, whatever, ran a touchdown, went out of bounds, did whatever he had to do to win the game. So It's not about how many yards you threw for, because you could throw 400 yards and still lose the game. It's about being a winner. It's about doing what you got to do in that minute, in that moment, and making those plays happen. Move those chains. Your job is to make those chains move. As long as those chains are moving, we're going to get to the end zone eventually. So you got to take advantage of it. When he sat there and he's standing in the pocket for 4 seconds, and it was times that he was standing there. He was just standing, he's looking. It's nothing there. Okay, if it's not there, if they're covering you that good, man, that means that all those wide receivers are downfield, along with the linebackers and things. You need to be taking advantage of that. Get you 5 yards, get out of bounds. Take 10 yards, get out of bounds. You saw on a couple of times when he did run, he got 10 yards. It was there. That was open a lot in that game. He just didn't take advantage of enough of those situations. Stop trying to prove that you can throw the ball. Win the game.
Win the game. Use your hand.
I ain't got to prove to you that I can make a pass. I got a cannon for an arm. Yeah. Hey, I'm talking about that W at the end of the day. That doesn't mean a thing if I got the stats. I got to get this ball in the end zone. So whatever it takes to get there. That's why I hear a lot of people saying about Lamar Jackson and this and that. I really don't even care. At the end of the game, who won?
That's it.
Right. If he threw 2 yards in that game, but he got that W, I don't care if the other man threw 600. It don't make a difference. Who's going to win at the end of the game? So that's what I saw in there. I mean, and the other thing with Kirby, we don't know what's going on in the background, a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, like I said, we're trying to get information. And that could be something, because it doesn't even make logical sense if you got a better quarterback that's sitting there and you're not playing him.
Right.
That doesn't add up. So I don't think these guys are getting paid millions of dollars to make that bad of a decision. It's got to be something else, more than likely, that's going on in the background that we don't know of. And so we just got to deal with what we got to deal with right now. And the other quarterbacks that he's got sitting there, he's still got another 5-star quarterback sitting there, and there's another one sitting over there like as a 4-star quarterback. So he got quarterbacks sitting over there. So I don't know if they're prepped and ready to play at that level yet. I don't know. But we had enough games during the year, though, where we blew out teams where we could have put those other guys in and been working that as well. So those are options. It's just, how is it that Tua is ready to play in an SEC championship game? How's he ready to play?
National championship game, Tua came in.
National championship game. And he just comes in and he plays. I don't know. I mean, something's up. Like I said, we're not at those practices. Don't know how that all goes down. But still, man, they always holler about the next man up. If that man can't get it done, and then we got another opportunity. I can even see him. I'm not saying full agreement with what all happened in the game, and we didn't make changes on offense, but we got another game, 2 games coming. First of all, you got to get past Michigan, and that Michigan balling. Okay, so you got to beat Michigan first. Then you got to get back to Alabama. What are we gonna do? What's gonna be the decision? Are you gonna go and stick with that, and then we come back with the same results? We'll see. Well, I just hate to see all that talent that Georgia got, and we still don't have. We're not number one. We still haven't beat the number 1 team.
Right. Which I agree with you. Kev, you want to say something before I shift gears?
No, man. He said it all, because next man up is not next year. Okay, next man up is next down, next play, next situation, whatever it may be. We'll see. I just hadn't seen.
See?
I'm not. I can switch from being a hater to talking football, man. Kirby Smart told me that when it's time to make a decision, he'll make it. He'll just stick to his guns. As you said earlier, Tom, he's just stubborn or senile or something. And he'll just stick to his guns and just run it all the way out. And then, if we win, we win. If we lose, then golly gee, we got to do better. I don't want to hear that crap.
Well, again, those were my thoughts. I was thinking like, man, something's wrong. Something this don't make sense. It's not, like James said, it's not adding up. Say something to me. And it's hard. Not that, and I know a lot of people be on the side, all these armchair quarterbacks. I mean, coaches. It's not that I'm an armchair quarterback or coach. I'm a fan that understands the game of football. And if you truth be told, most of us have played it in some form or fashion, and we understand that things got to add up. There's a rhyme and reason to football. They teach us the simplest things of fundamentals, 3-point stance, leverage. They teach us. I learned as a receiver, the greatest thing I learned as a receiver, I still apply to my life today, is cushion. Can you break the cushion? Can you break the cushion of DB? Well, don't let him break your cushion, because if he get up on you, he can put his hands on you. I learned all that stuff, fundamental stuff as a receiver, how to stalk block, how to go and break down and put myself a certain amount of distance between the play and myself and the receiver, and the DB. So when I get up on him, I can break his cushion before he break mine, get my hands on him. Whatever way he go, I'm going to drive him because the running back going to cut off my tail anyway. He going to cut off the direction I'm going. I learned all that fundamental stuff in this rhyme and reason. So to me, it just makes no sense. I got a comment from Charles Bowler, said Minshew went down and somebody else came in. There he go. He's saying it right there. Next man up. This a next man up. And that dude start catching balls.
Yeah.
But this is what was driving me sort of crazy. We've beat the drum about Pickens all year long. We finally got him back, and you went to him 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You got Mick. This is Georgia's receiving corps. 5 stars now. They all 5 stars. Pickens, Dominique Blaylock, Arian Smith, who got hurt. He's not out there. Burton's is a 5-star. Jackson is a 4-star. You got McConkey, number 84, and you got 5. Mitchell, all can ball. They've proven it. So, it was just out of sorts. All right, let me get to the next thing because time is getting away. This is our next thing. And James, you tapped this actually early, but we all going to jump on it. And listen, let me pause for a second. Those of you all that are watching, if you got any comments you want to say, please put it on the screen. If you want to call in, voice your opinion, you can do that. The line is up. You can see it on the bottom of the screen. That's the number 667-770-1476. The code is 879-693. Hit that pound. We'll let you come on and say something. I got my eyes on the screen to know who's popping in and who's going to be joining us. So you can come in and say something if you would like. We'll be glad to have you. We'll be honored to hear what you got to say. So that's that. Also, we are a Christian-based show. So if you get to the point that you got to cuss us out because you disagree, I'm going to kick you off in a heartbeat. You won't be on here long, ma'am or sir, or whomever you might be. You're going to get gone. We're going to hit the ejection button and get you up out of here. I can't hear nobody. So, so you guys are more than welcome to call in. The number is on the screen. We'll be glad to have you to join us here on the show as we talk some sports. Again, we are a Christian-based show. It's called Across the Line, where we are some good, clean brothers. There is a young lady that's normally with us pretty well, Sharonda Williams, but something happened where she wasn't able to get with us tonight. So we're holding it down. The fellas holding it down, but you guys can please join us. All right, here goes the next thing, guys. This is a question that I want to know. Was the defense exposed or was it just an aberration? Was the defense exposed? Now, James, you hit this earlier. talking about them hips and that track speed and these guys getting burnt. Now let me this first. First of all, Alabama defense ain't better than our defense. I'm just gonna let you know. Alabama, if you look at everybody Alabama played, they gave them fits. Everybody that gave Alabama fits this year, we beat them to sleep. So, why is it that we struggle with that defense? My thing is, they're not better than us. I think, to me personally, that was just an aberration. We did realize something, that certain people, as you stated earlier, were exposed when it came to speed. They don't have it. And I'm like you. I'd rather have speed on the field that can catch up with somebody, at least get a penalty. And this is one of the rules that we stated, James. When that joker done ran past you, this is not the NFL. Hit him. Grab him.
Grab him.
Do not give up them 7 points. Go ahead, James.
And that's just one key thing. I mean, I saw number 11, my man number 11 there, when he did that in the second half with Arian Smith, when he did that, which was great. I mean,
that's Smith.
Kendrick, my man Kendrick.
Yeah.
My man Kendrick. When he did that was great. I'd rather do that anytime. I tell the guys, when we're out here coaching them at the high school and different things, man, don't get burnt. This is not the NFL. They're not going to give you the ball down there, whatever. So it says, this 10, 15 yards where they're going to give you whatever, and that's it. I'd take that all day long than over this 60-yard touchdown this man just ran past you. I mean, grab the man. He running around with your groceries, whatever. You get this man, you snatch him down. Whatever you got to do, you do not let this man just run past you and keep going. And then especially when you see him and you see the play developing. It's one thing if you like number 47 there, when he was with Jackson there, he's sitting there turning and twisting and falling around and everything. Okay, then that's one thing, because you just out to play anyway. But when you're in the play and you see that happening, they shouldn't let that happen. I don't think the defense was, if you know what you were looking at, it wasn't exposed. It was there all along.
Right.
That's why they're recruiting like they're recruiting right now at DB and in their secondary there, for the entire secondary. I mean, they're recruiting for the whole team and everything, but they are really trying to heavily get, they want those DBs. They got to get those safeties that are going to be able to cover people with size and speed. They have to have those people that got the knowledge of the game, that know what to do in those different particular situations and know how to make a play. They're going to have to make a play. The problem was, the defense didn't make a play. We didn't make plays as far as, a turnover or anything, like we should have in that game. Alabama did. They made their plays. You look at those drives that we were on. We were on drives that were getting ready. We were progressing the ball down the field. The ball was going on down. We were doing what we needed to do. Turnover. That flipped that whole game. You got to have on your defense. Our defense has got to be to do the same. I don't think they got exposed. I don't believe in them 5 stars. I don't believe in the star program, period, because there's too many politics in getting stars.
Preach.
It's too many connections and networking and all of this and everything. And these people get out there, and then they say they 5 stars and then get exposed. You got 5 stars and 3 stars and 4 stars right now sitting on the bench behind people that are walk-ons, because those people, when they got to the college, they found out, wait, that man ain't no 5-star. He ain't no 3-star. He ain't no star. He need to be, how did he get here? I mean, I'm just telling the truth. I mean, this is horrible. The whole ranking system that's out there right now, to one point or another. You can't hardly trust the system.
Right.
Because he didn't see that. Man, put that man on there and put that clock on him one time. Let's see what happens. Let's put him in front of some of these top wide receivers and things, and let's see what happens. I've been to too many camps. I've been to too many situations where you got this guy over here who's supposed to be a 4 or 5-star. He's been burnt by 3 or 4 times. So what he does then, he goes and hide, and he doesn't even get back into the drills, so he can keep that persona, he can keep that mirage going, that he's still all of that. And then people come right after the camp, and they go over there and talk to that kid. But why don't you go talk to that kid over there with no stars that just did him up? But you're going to give that kid the scholarship, and he's going to end up getting on the team. And this is what happens. You mess around, stand in front of a man running a 10-2 and 10-3 and see what happens. And he got moves and got hands. And he tall and lanky with it. Burnt, toast.
Burnt.
I mean, crispy. I mean, you can't even eat that toast. You can't do nothing with that. You can't scrape the burn off of. You know how you scrape the burn? I don't keep that piece. Someone scrape it on off. You know, don't put me a little piece of butter on. You can't do nothing with that toast. That toast crisp. Nothing you can do with it. I mean, I don't care what they said. They got burnt, and burnt. You better get some people out there that can get these things done and stop falling for all this stuff saying with these ranking companies and different things saying this kid is that kid. Somebody got to be able to tell who is really who. You got to know what you really got out there. One thing I said with dogs, they will hit people. They are vicious players. I mean, when it comes down to, if they're to come downhill and hit you, oh yeah, they're going to bring that wood. But then that skill level part of it, I mean, it's every year it's the same stuff. Why do we keep getting beat like that? It's just, like I said, the players ain't who they say they are. And on that, we've got that. There's a problem that's got to be fixed with that. And that's throughout football on that. And a lot of these different situations, it's got to be fixed. These people, like I said, these guys get to the point where they won't even come back out to the camps. See, I'm in the middle ground of this, and I get to see all of that. When I take my sons to different camps and everything, these guys, they won't even come to some of those camps because they don't want to get exposed.
Wow.
They've gotten with the right people to get them those looks and get those offers. So then they'll get to the point where we're not even going to put myself in this situation. I mean, you go right over there to that Grayson game and that Colin Hill game. Look what happened. All them DBs out there that's supposed to be talking about they're going to cover somebody. That Hunter boy put it on them. Every time they turned around. And I'm saying DBs came down here to Jones County and they were trying to hold the kid down there that run a 10-3. He's the fastest freshman in the nation. They were trying to hold that boy. All them boys got all these 30 and 40 offers. Burnt them up. Toast. You cannot hold this man. And if the quarterback could throw, they would have beat him. The only thing is the quarterback on their team couldn't get the ball to the boy. The boy down the field 10 yards ahead of these people.
Wow.
But those are the same people, though, that got offers from these different schools, though, and saying that they can cover somebody. It's just the truth. You know, they may not like it. They don't have to like it. It's the truth, though. It's not an aberration. All right, I'm finished with it. What we got?
All right.
What we got?
All right. Kevin, tell me what you think, Doc. Was it exposed or what?
Man, they got exposed. And I can't name names like you guys did. I just watched it. Kentucky gave you a little bit of it. Tennessee gave you a little bit of it early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As a defensive coordinator or as a defensive-minded guy, I think you should always mix your coverages up, especially if you know you don't have them DBs back there.
Yep.
I would walk them up to the line and act like I'm playing press man and drop back.
Yeah.
I would walk my safety up to the line like I'm blitzing and let him drop back. When teams don't do that, and nobody really do that nowadays. The only teams I see do that still in the pros, and that's Pittsburgh and Baltimore. They're gonna play press man and blitz and show zone blitz all game long. Everybody else is giving you a 5 and 7 yard cushion. There's no way if my safety is gonna turn his hips to the outside on every pass play, I'm gonna let that joker play 12 yards off the ball.
Yeah.
If nothing else, pressure corners like they're gonna play up and drop them back.
At least do that.
That gives your D-line the opportunity to make those plays because the quarterback is thinking he's changing his decision at the line of scrimmage. And once they drop back, oh, I was going here short and it's covered, or I was going deep and they didn't drop back. I can't do that. I didn't see that at all the whole game. So you can't put the D-line do have to make plays because they balled out all year. I'll give them that. You got to get a strip sack. You got to get something. But in the event you can't, the defense coordinator got to mix it up. I got to show you something different. I got to make adjustments. And we didn't see that, in my opinion.
Right. I agree, Doc. You know, most definitely. There needed to be some changes made. And Kirby said this day, he said, I'm glad we took the loss because there needed to be some things exposed. And at first I was thinking like, well, who wants to take a loss? But you sit back and you look at it, you be like, well, if they gonna get better, I guess. Otherwise, we gonna be up out of here next week. About in 3 weeks when Michigan busts our head open. But I don't really see in that. I don't really see that, and that sort of segues into our next topic. And with this is our last one, our playoff bowl game matchup. And I just want to bring this bowl game matchup on the screen for you guys to see it here. It's I think it's going to be an all-out good game. I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. I think I lost it here. Hold on.
No.
Didn't come up.
My bad.
Let me see here. Share screen. There we go. As you guys, I think you guys can see it now. Here you have us. This is what you're looking at. You got Alabama versus Cincinnati, Georgia versus Michigan. And I really think this can be a great matchup for Georgia because one of Georgia's greatest strengths is stopping the run, and everybody is losing their mind. And listen, when you hear the media pundits talking about, oh, Georgia was exposed and Georgia can't do this and Georgia can't do that. Well, first of all, let's just really revisit history. History is this. There has only been maybe 4 rushing touchdowns on Georgia in 2 years. 4 in 2 years. So I don't expect Michigan to come out and just run rub shot all over our defense. And then on top of that, you got a defense that is ticked off. They can't wait to get on that field and tear somebody apart. They feel like they got embarrassed, and they did get embarrassed. And I think that that's one of the things that's going to actually help Georgia. They should be playing like they just ready to rip somebody's head off. And if they come out with attitude, don't blow defensive assignments. Quay Walker was on, I think it was SEC Network, and he said Georgia had a bunch of blown assignments. When you got guys wide open, I ain't talking you beat me one-on-one like Williams beat both the corner and the safety for that last bomb he caught.
Mm-hmm.
When you running across the middle of the field when you should have been bracketed, that's a problem. And that's what happened. He was supposed to have been bracketed. And like James said, that inside corner, that slot should have stayed with him going across the field. That joker went to the flats. He stayed up front in the curl zone. Mm-hmm. And that's why he had like 30 yards of space. And when he caught the ball, that safety, first of all, the safety wasn't fast enough. And he closed the gap. And that dude turned that corner and left him standing there. That was that 4.3 speed or whatever that boy running. And then the play was you had running backs leaking out to the flats, wide open. Then the other play, Minchie caught one in the flats, wide open. All busted coverage. So that was a lack of concentration on the defensive part. And the guys admitted that they admitted that they dropped the ball. So I think that Michigan will not get the same defense that Alabama got. I think Michigan is going to get a defense that's going to be dialed in, and they're going to stop that run.
What you got, Kevin?
I hope so. I certainly hope so. Because if I'm Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, and I see them DBs can't cover nobody, I'm coming out 3 and 4 wide. I'm coming out a shotgun. And I'll put the ball in those formations just to keep you honest, but also to expose them DBs that I know you don't have. Hopefully it's a different game. Hopefully Jim Harbaugh is stubborn and he just want to run the ball, and that behooves Georgia to tear their head off. Let me say this because you was asking about the playoffs. I see it a little different, and I'll start off this way. For a while, we've seen USC. We've seen Ohio State, seen Florida, seen Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, now Georgia, even LSU every now and And the argument is SEC is better than everybody. ACC is better than everybody. When Florida State, Miami was winning. The Pac everybody. If the conferences are so much better than everybody else's conferences, why are we always seeing the same 3 or 4 teams in the playoffs? I think that speaks to. I like the SEC and the ACC. I think wonderful talent comes from the South. But when you talk about across the board and the same 2 teams and Clemson now, or same 3, 4 teams are there at the top every year, maybe the conference isn't as tough as they play it up to be. I say that to say this. Cincinnati beat everybody on their schedule. They were undefeated. And they're only a 3rd seed. I do not agree with that. I'm not saying Alabama isn't better than them. What I'm saying is this. Don't penalize me for beating who was on my schedule. And if Alabama's better than them and they're 3rd or 4th seed, beat the head off and show everybody you should have been number 1. But don't take that away from Cincinnati, man. I think that was robbery in my personal opinion. I also think it was robbery for Georgia to drop down the way they did. And they were undefeated all year. But that's neither here nor there, man. Hopefully, y'all Bulldogs win. And if not,
I come against you, Satan.
Come against you.
On this show, devil. Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know. All I know is
it should be a good game.
Better win that game. Georgia better win that game. I think, like I said, you will see just to come back and, to basically redeem themselves. They're going to play outside their minds in their game. So I think you'll probably see the best Georgia team you've seen all year long because, man, social media was like, God, I mean, it was brutal. And I can imagine, I just saw some of the stuff. I was like, but man, I can imagine what those guys have seen, what they've heard, coaches, everybody. I mean, they were coming up with some of these people so creative. I mean, they were just coming up with stuff. I was like, God, they're killing us. You can't have that and not have pride in yourself and say, look, okay, y'all talking now. And I do believe they have, like I said, still, even though I don't believe in that star system and all that and things, I still believe they got some of the best players in the nation that play for Georgia. Yeah. And they're going to come out there and they're going to play with their pride. And they're going to come out there and they're going to make Michigan. Michigan is going to come out there and looking to take advantage of an opportunity. But we shall see. We shall see what type of Bulldog team we have. It's the same thing with the Braves when the Braves were playing. The old Braves team would have folded in some of those situations in the playoffs.
That's right.
But they fought. They turned it around and they gave that. They like, we ain't going out like that. They had a different breed of players on that team. Them boys talking that stuff you can't understand what they saying. Them boys, they were like, oh no, we're not going out like this. We've got to turn this around and we are going to win this game. And that's the kind of mentality that I'm hoping that Georgia has. And I believe they have it. It's just that, they gotta hone in on it. They gotta block out. I think, like I said, it was too many antics and all this stuff was going on before this game got there. I just believe they lost, like they said, they lost focus. I mean, you can't be up here leading the band and everything, and then when it's time to play, you down there, you can't breathe. If you know what I'm talking about. I mean,
you winded every 3 plays.
Hey, you can lead the band, then you can get up here and lead this band, lead these players.
That's right.
I mean, I'm watching. I'm just telling the truth. I mean, on that one play where he throws a touchdown. When Young throws a touchdown, he on about the 20-yard line, and he throws that touchdown, and 2 receivers or 2 corners are following that receiver, and he hits him in between. Y'all know that one on that corner route right there. He hit him with Young is throwing the ball. My man,
big boy came upfield.
He up there is one man blocking him, and he can't get past this one guy. And he's just standing there with him like they dancing. He's not really pushing him. They just standing there. Come on, man. It's not one man in football that can stop you. You tied. Now they got to redeem themselves. You got to come back with some fire in you and some pride and say, I'm just not going to let that be the definition of who I am. That will not define me. So, but I think I think they got our focus. This game is going to bring them back in. And it's going to make them hone in. And I do believe they're going to beat Michigan, though. I believe they're going to beat Michigan. Now, as far as beating Alabama, hey, probably don't know. Probably don't know nothing, you know. I don't know. because that Nick Saban, that joke can bring stuff out of the hat you ain't never thought of. So
it's all
just
now.
I can't say. I can't say. I'm hoping. I'm Bulldog fan. I want them to win, but we don't know if that's going to happen or not. We just got to see. But I believe we will see another rematch of that, and we should be seeing the Bulldogs playing Bama again in the championship, and we'll go from there.
Right. That was a good quote you put out. Don't let that bad player situation define you.
Yeah,
definitely, most definitely. Well, I'll say this to close us out, guys. I'll say this. I think that the matchups will be great. I think Cincinnati will give Bama some fits. Let me tell you why. Cincinnati got two of the top corners in the country, a tandem of them, and them boys get it done.
Yeah.
Since Alabama lost Michi, he tore that ACL. I don't care what they talking about. You ain't coming from that in a month time. No, that you done, player, and that's why he was on the field. He knew it, and I wish him the best to get well. But that's not a month heal unless you do like Reggie White, go in the basement and pull down heaven. Remember what he there is it growing or something, and when he came back up out that basement, heaven had moved for him. It was back attached. Unless you're gonna do one of them, now we'll show that I believe with you. You know,
believe right there with it.
Don't beat my team, but we'll believe God for you on that, brother. But truth be told, man, I think Cincinnati gonna give Alabama some fits. They got a good team, but that boy Bryce Young is the truth. That boy, the truth, man. And that's what I think made it hard for Stetson. To compete against that. We've never asked Stetson to do that.
Yeah.
And Alabama was playing out of his mind. The D line, the O line, they got up. They got up for the game. And they did their thing. So that's where we are. I think we can beat Michigan. I'm really not worried about Michigan. I'm really not being overconfident. I'm not worried about Michigan. I think we can beat them. I think that this game was a good one of them situations to Georgia to wake him up a little bit, but I think we can pull this off. If anyone on here thinks that I caused this loss, kiss a cactus, I'm going to keep talking to all y'all out there because I'm a fan and I can do that. It ain't my job to be ready to play on Saturday. It's my job to talk trash, and I ain't going to stop talking trash.
Hey, but to that Cincinnati thing, before we go, to that Cincinnati thing, like I said, now, I don't know. I can't say that Cincinnati would beat Alabama, but to what you said, that team is built for speed.
Yeah,
that team, if they could last the pounding, that's the problem.
Yeah,
it's the pounding that's going to get you with that big line that Alabama's got and everything. After they wear on you all the way to the fourth quarter, that's where they could lose the game at. But if they could get out and really get on top of Alabama real quick, it's something to see. Because I want to see that battle between those corners, the corners that they have going up against those wide receivers that Alabama has, Williamson and whoever else is there. Like I said, one young man, he's out for the season, but still, I would like to see that happen because that team, like I said, is built for speed. You watch them; those guys can move. And they're smaller, but they can move. And that's what it makes me weary of them, though, because and concerned for them because once they get worn on for so many quarters, now you got to keep dealing with Bama and all that pounding. I believe Bama will probably run the ball better against them after not in the first half, but you keep going into that third quarter and that fourth quarter, they'll be able to move the ball.
Cool.
So
Kevin?
that's,
Hey. They should beat Michigan. And hopefully we get that dog fight or at least that bulldog defense we've seen all year when they play them. I just think the Alabama thing is more psychological for Georgia at this point.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about talent because the last 3 years they've been just as talented.
Yeah.
This year I don't think Alabama's defense was as talented as Georgia's. But psychologically, whether it's game plan, whether it's scheme, whether it's adjustments, whatever it may be, the chips gonna fall where they're supposed to at the end of the game. That's mental. That's more mental than it is physical.
I can see that.
Well, this is what they say is going on with Georgia. Let me show y'all on the screen. They say that they say your boy got something going on. He looked across the field and they say your boy's seeing crazy stuff when other folks ain't seeing it. I'm gonna show y'all what they say is going on. It don't feel good. I don't like it, but this is what they say is happening. They say this is what's going on with Kirby. They say it's like the weather boy. They say Kirby is seeing the U. They say this what Kirby see.
Boy, they killing us. Boy, they killing us.
Lord have mercy.
Lord.
Lord
They
have
say
mercy.
Kirby over there shaking in his boots and stuff. So how
Boy, they ought to cut it out. Boy, I tell you, boy, these folks, boy, they come up with some stuff.
Boy, they come up with it. Don't I be like, Lord, they say Kirby over there going crazy. He look over there and see Nick Saban, he just go nuts. I am. But it's all good. Let's see who somebody's supposed to. Oh, Gary Smith. He laughing at that. They say your boy over there shaking. But however, guys, we have come to the end of our show. It has been good. Everyone that's on here, do me a favor, subscribe. Go like the show Across the Line. It's a page. Like the page Across the Line. It's on there. You guys are more than welcome to follow us. Next time, if you want to call in and say something, you're more than welcome to call in. We want to open the phone. The phone lines are open. If you put your comment up, we'll repost your comment as well. And we thank you. We salute you guys. Go Dogs. Home team. We appreciate Kevin. He's the and they say I think y'all just picked up.
We got a new sheriff.
Who you get?
Cristobal from Oregon. He's a Miami guy.
Okay. Y'all took him from Oregon?
Pretty much. Cut him a check. I think he's getting like $8 or $9 million a year for 10 years.
Well, they guys, we got to change profession. We know too much football not to be getting paid that kind of bread.
I know that's right.
But we wish him well. The U and Georgia Bulldogs, guys, y'all be safe. Yeah, we're praying for everybody. Y'all pray for us. We are a Christian-based show that believe in serving God. We love God with all our heart. We love people. We love everybody. We are rooting for Georgia. Do not think that we are not against Kirby Smart. We are not against Stetson. We just want our team to win. And by any means necessary, we want to see Georgia win. Whatever it takes, do it. If it's going to help us get that W, do it. Listen, if you change quarterback, guess what? Stetson get a ring too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Stetson gonna get a ring too, and we gonna honor all the work he's done to help us to be 12-1. And when we win, we'll be 14-1. I will be most happy. And we dog fans at heart. We all may not agree, but that's all good. Y'all be easy. We out. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna close.
All right now, fellas.
All right. Peace.
30 seconds. Amen. Music.